Friends and fellow travelers, welcome back to the Journey Wheel on day 15 of the Friends and Community Challenge. The question we're thinking about today is, what makes you feel free? When I say what makes you feel free, we're going to isolate one thing. There should be many. Hopefully there are, but sometimes we can't see anything that makes us feel free. We don't feel like we have anything, so it's important to reflect on one area. Find one exception to your belief that you don't have freedom, to that whatever it is that you feel you don't have. You find one example that proves it wrong, and you have a way to move forward. Whether it's this question or whether it's, an area where I feel I have control in my life, where I have success, or if we get the feeling of, oh, this is the way it is, this is always the way it is, and this is going to happen if I try this thing. It always does. So if I don't feel free, I need to find one area where I feel free to prove myself wrong, to realize I do have freedom in my life, I do have control in my life, whatever the question is, the belief is, we have to find one example where it's not true. And then once we've shifted that perspective, it allows for new information to come in and new growth to occur. A little card known as Justice. Initially, I'm going to be honest, I didn't get a really strong message from you, Justice. But after a few seconds of sitting with it, I did. Where do I feel freedom? I don't feel freedom in justice. I don't feel freedom in the scales measuring yes or no. Is that yes or no? I never understand that. If I'm weighing out the option, which is the one that I want to say, this is the right answer. I never understood that, so I just never did it. But it's never in the weighing that I feel freedom. It's after the weighing. Maybe sometimes I was proven right. My sense of justice was correct, and I debated and I conversed and ended up being the more sound, logical point of view, perhaps. And that feels free. I feel free in that. But what really is coming up in me is in this card, it's saying, I feel free when I'm the one that's wrong. And it's not that I'm wrong, it's that a logical argument was given to me that made me feel triggered. I weighed it out. I listened. I walked away, felt the fire of transformation occurring, and I felt the stifling of that growth trying to occur as I suppressed it down deeper and deeper back into the depths of secrecy, locking it away in my heart, but then realized it had to come up. And I had to sit with it, and I had to look at it and figure out, why was I protecting this worldview, this belief, this idea so ferociously that I would risk throwing friendships away, that I would risk putting poison into my heart rather than be at the feet of the justice and learn. Oftentimes, when I have that strong emotional response, it feels like the opposite of freedom. But that strong emotional response, when I listen to it, sit with it, process it, and let in the wisdom that's trying to occur in, I feel that's the call to freedom. That trigger is the call to freedom trying to emerge. And it feels like I'm giving grounds and I'm being wishy-washy at times, but my platform, my foundation does not crumble. It's reinforced, because inevitably I walk away from those moments with a stronger understanding of human nature and what I believe about it. The reason that these scales were imbalanced in the first place is because I had an imbalanced worldview. I didn't understand whether it was my traumas or insecurities or just taking what my parents had said or a college professor had said or a pastor had said and not formulating it and filtering it through what I believed. And then taking that belief, what I believe, into the world where there's people who are very wise and have spent much time thinking about it, hearing from different perspectives of people, and then weighing that internally to figure out, what do I believe about this based on the facts that are given. Because sometimes I can be too lost in the sociology of it. Well, that sounds nice. But what's the practical application? It's really that dance. And there's been more freedom when I stopped living in the clouds as much and bring it a little bit more grounded and realistic, saying, well, okay, so what's my next step? Going from the clouds and pulling ideas and inspiration is fantastic, but if I don't have this justice card, this pragmatic card, helping me weigh things out and figure out the next step to take, then it's just talk. And I don't feel freedom. I feel like it's this pseudo prison. it just has glass instead of bars, and it has a view outside, but I still feel imprisoned. But when I take this justice card and get really practical and actionable steps occur, it unlocks the door and I step out and now I'm in nature. And that's freedom. That's releasing myself literally from prison. So I can't create a better card and a better analogy for that, of how I free myself through this process of justice and pragmatism and logic and wrestling with the triggers and wrestling with worldviews and shifting them and challenging them, letting go of the ones that need to die and reforming the ones that need to be brought forward with me as I step into my freedom. And that's what I'm doing here. And that's what I hope to help you do. And anyone who will listen, who wants growth, is to find that freedom through letting things go and growing things new. So if this has been a meaningful journey, if you have found any of that to be true in your life, and it's happening here for you in some way, please subscribe to the channel. Stick with me, because we have a lot more to unpack and journey as we go forward, friends. So until next time, journey well, my friends.